The Beaumier Heritage Center is a historical museum and educational center on the campus of Northern Michigan University. The mission is to promote and preserve the heritage of the Upper Peninsula. Now, currently, the center has an exhibit called UP Power that presents a lot of the history of local sports. TV6's Andrew LaCombe is live on the NMU campus this morning so we can learn more about the exhibit and the center. Andrew?
Good morning, Vicki. Yeah, it's time for high school playoff and championships. So we thought this would be a good time to check out this awesome exhibit called UP Power. As you said, we have trophies here. This is actually the most recent display. That's from the 2008 epic hockey game between Marquette and St. Mary's. That was the longest game in state history, 8 overtimes. There's exhibits here from all of the UP high school sports history. We've got Negaunee basketball, some Trout Creek teams from the 80s, 90s, and 2000s, and we've got a lot to show here. And the man who's in charge of the Beaumier Center here is Dan Truckey. Thanks so much for being here. And tell me, who put this together and how did it come about?
Well, this exhibit was really finished after a year process. We started meeting. We had a group of experts, sports writers, people from around the UP who got together about every couple months, and we talked about what we wanted to have in the exhibit, the scope of the exhibit. And then we just started designing it, contacting schools and individuals that we wanted to feature, and then started traveling all over the UP, getting trophies, photographs, materials for the exhibit, and then writing and designing the exhibit. And I had a group of students who worked with me to make that happen. So it was quite a year of getting it done. It was a lot of fun, though. Yeah,
I believe that you travel all over the UP. As we look around, we have teams from everywhere. Over here, we have some teams from the Eastern UP, Newberry and Pickford, some track teams and football. Every kind of sport is represented here, and it's just really comprehensive. The whole UP, the whole history. How long does the display go?
Well, the display was opened in October, and it'll be closing at the end of March. So we're hoping to get one last month of people coming in and letting people know about it, because I think a lot of people who have come to it the response has been amazing, and just their reaction to it. And so we're hoping more people come and just bask in all this great high school sports memorabilia from, like you said, all over the UP. It's not just focused on one particular area.
I noticed there's some profiles of coaches, of some historical players, just all kinds of different memorabilia here. What is do you have a favorite exhibit or anything that you really enjoy looking at, or something that was really cool to find?
Well, some of them are very close to me. I mean, the Trout Creek basketball team, I didn't go to Trout Creek, but I was in high school when they went downstate and played in the state finals, and those players in that were guys who I knew and played against and watched games. And so that's kind of a special thing for me. When Dave Bessenden, who was their star, sent me his jersey and stuff to be in the exhibit, it was just like I was like a kid on Christmas morning. I was like, wow, this is so cool. I remember seeing him play in this jersey, so it brought back a lot of memories for me. But no, I don't think particularly I have any favorites, but that one brings back the biggest memories for me.
Well, that's very interesting. Thanks for sharing that with us. Now, you run the History Center. You're also in charge of the Northern Nights Performing Arts Series, and you've got a group coming up here that also ties into the UP history, that what this place is all about. And we have more UP heritage coming out in this group, correct?
Well, actually, this group is from South America. So,
okay.
but no, that's okay. Well, we do have groups that are tied to UP heritage as a part of the Northern Nights. We've used it to do that. But this group in particular is from Colombia, called Cimarron, and they're just a very exciting group. Their music, I guess, would be the cowboy music, if you will, of South America. They call it joropo music, and it's their culture working in the cattle lands in Colombia and Venezuela, and it's also tied with their Native American culture, which actually, I guess, in a way, they're all tied to North America. And in fact, our powwow is going on that same day that the university puts on, or the Center of Native American Studies. So it's going to be an exciting day. We hope people go to the powwow in the afternoon and come to the concert in the evening. But they're a really amazing group. That's very dynamic.
All right, so there are a lot of heritage and history from both the UP and across the world being represented here at Northern right now with this exhibit, and into the future with the Northern Nights series. So we're going to be checking out more of the UP Power exhibit coming up in about a half an hour, so stick around. I'm excited to check out some of these teams from, well, the UP sports history, so we'll be seeing that in a few minutes, so stick around for that. We're live in Marquette this morning. Andrew LaCombe, TV6 News.
Now this morning we're learning more about the Beaumier Heritage Center. It's a historical museum and educational center at NMU. Right now they have an exhibit called UP Power, representing the history of high school sports in the Upper Peninsula. Playoff and championship time for a lot of high school sports. We've been asking on our Facebook page some of their favorite teams. Somebody mentioned the Ishpeming High School football team from this past fall. Somebody also put on there about the Munising cheer team heading off to another great championship season. So this morning we're going to have TV6's Andrew LaCombe joining us on the NMU campus right now, giving us more on the exhibit and the sports to be found there. Andrew?
Good morning, Vicki. Yeah, a lot of interesting things here. We're looking right now at some stuff from Chassell. This is their basketball teams back in the 50s. They had a winning streak of 65 games in a row between 56 and 58, some 3 state championships there. Just look at these shoes, basketball practice shirt, and the basketball, their team bag. Just look at these artifacts from over 50 years ago. Now, of course, this team, one of the greatest in Upper Peninsula history. We're going to bring in Paul from the Beaumier Center here at the Cohodes Building, and tell me a little bit more about this team and what we have here.
Well, this is when the state created their Legends of the Game series back about 20 years ago. This was the first team that they actually featured, because they still have a record of the longest winning streak of any basketball team in the state, 65 games, but winning 3 straight state championships in basketball, which no other team has done either. So, it's incredible, because actually the first year they did it, there were 4 teams in the UP to win the state championship that year. Trout Creek in Class E, Chassell D, Crystal Falls at C, and Stevenson in Class B all won the state championship, and then they went on to win 2 more years. So at that time, basketball in the UP, and I mean, it's still today, they're very competitive on the state level, but they were dominant in some ways. Just there was something about basketball in the western UP. It was like in southern Indiana, it was in the blood, and this team is still remembered today as being one of the greatest teams ever.
Okay, so we're going to talk about another dominant team in a different sport. We're going to head over here. Again, we're at the Beaumier Heritage Center at NMU. It's in Cohodes Hall, right on campus, and this is a free exhibit that is lasting until the end of March, so you got about a month left coming up. And so now we're going to learn more about one team that was pretty historical. Also from Ishpeming. Vicki was just talking about the team from this year, and this team from 75 made a big name for itself. Can you tell us about that?
Absolutely. Well, for a long time, there was no state tournament in football for a lot of reasons. In 1975, the state decided again to start a tournament. And at that time, the Hudson Tigers in Class C had the longest winning streak in the nation, 72 games straight. And they were predicted to just have no problem winning the state championship. They met Ishpeming in the first ever Class C state championship down in Mount Pleasant, and Ishpeming won the game, and it was a shocker to people all over, but not really to people in the UP who knew for a long time that the UP consistently had some of the best football teams in the state. But this was a real important thing for people in the UP. It was more than just a football game. It was a rallying cry. It's kind of that UP versus Lower Peninsula thing. And it really just said, hey, listen, we know how to play football, but we're up here. We're part of this state. And it was a point of pride for a lot of people in the UP, and still is to this day. And so this trophy is really historic in more ways than just because it's a football trophy. It represents a lot more than that.
All right, Dan, well, thanks so much for telling us all about this display. Now, here's one more here. This is from Crystal Falls Forest Park, one of the most winning football teams in the UP. We've got all kinds of sports represented here. We have wrestling, downhill skiing. We've seen a lot of track and field, of course, basketball, football, hockey. We've got it all here from all the UP Power, the sports high school history represented here. This exhibit, of course, free. The center's open Mondays through Saturday, 10 to 4 during the day, and it's free to get in here at the CODIS building at NMU. A lot to check out, so get on down here and see it. I'm really enjoying taking a look at everything that is here. So we're going to send things back to the studio now, live in Marquette this morning. Andrew LaCombe, TV6 News.
All right, sounds awesome. Thanks, Andrew. Sounds like if you're a sports fan, that's where you need to get before the end of March.